Hi everyone, today I want to talk to you about tracking subjects when you're videoing, and actually this works as well when you're photographing, and I've got two tips for you that will help you out. Now this came about because I was videoing a talk and the speaker was moving around a lot, and this event was at the Marland Institute, which is part of Queen Mary University of London, and they have all sorts of events, free events, and they're all kind of about politics as well. So they've had lots of people there, ex-deputy prime ministers, ambassadors, and all sorts of secretaries of state and other politicians, names you would have heard of. So I've got a link below for you to go and check that out. Now their events are free, as I said, they're based in the East End of London. So if you are interested, you could also sign up and go and see those events in person, but there's a load online on their YouTube channel, and well, I'll put the link for that there as well. So the gentleman in question was Patrick Porter, and he also gave permission to use the clip. Thank you very much for that. And he was a very dynamic speaker, and he was moving around a lot. And I was down at the front with my camera filming away on my tripod, and people afterwards asked me how I kept him in frame the whole time. And there was a particular thinking that I've got when I'm doing that. Now, just the first tip I've got for you, and I'm just going to show you with the iPhone here, you want to be comfortable, especially where you finish. So for example, you're filming something and you're following someone around like this. When I get to the end, I'm in a more comfortable position than when I started. You don't want to be shuffling around as you do, because it'll make the shot unsteady, and this applies whether you're handheld or using a tripod. So always kind of finish where you're most comfortable. Ideally, you want to be most comfortable in both positions, okay? The reason for being at the end is that that's normally where you're holding on the subject. So if they walk around, that might be where they stop and they talk a bit more. You don't want to be going around like that and then having to hold the shot like this. So that's a good idea, and that's one of the things that I do. It doesn't matter too much with photography because you can kind of shuffle around, but if you're using a camera, you'll want to be in the most comfortable position, generally where you finish. And if you've got a tripod, you're thinking, well, you can just move around, but you might knock a leg, or it still kind of shows. So just remember that rule. Finish where you are most comfortable, okay? So that's the first thing. Then with the framing, I'm not thinking about keeping it in the middle. If that's my intention to keep it in the middle, I might be wanting to keep it on the side or so on. So what I was doing when I was following Patrick is I was thinking about the distance from his top of his head to the top of the frame. And also in this little bit that I'm going to show you here, he was walking to camera left. And because of that, I was thinking about the distance from the left-hand side of the screen, not keeping him in the middle or framed on the left. I was thinking about the actual distances. Now, I don't really think about it now. It's kind of automatic because I've been doing this for quite a while. This is a very short clip because as he kind of went back, I can then see the audience. And obviously I don't have permission from the audience for them to be seen on this clip. So you'll have to excuse that, but you'll get the right idea. So here's Patrick. So what you'll see is I've got a certain distance from the top of his head and to the left-hand side of the screen. And I tried to maintain that as he was walking around. He's very close to the camera here. It was a very tight space where I was sitting down at the front. But you get the idea that I was thinking about the distance from the left and the distance from the top of his head. And as you can see, I can keep him in the frame. Now I've got another one of a car racing around a track. Let me just go to that. And what you'll see here is, in this case, again, I was thinking about the distance from the top of the screen and from the right-hand side of the screen. It's in slow motion. If I play it, you'll see that what I'm really thinking about here, and by the way, this was handheld on a very long lens. So my thinking was distance from the side of the screen, the right-hand side, and the distance from the top of the frame. So if you think like that, that's really going to help in keeping your framing. For me and for many other people, I know that's what they do to keep things framed up nicely when they're tracking along. And also it helps if you're taking photos as well. I find that if I'm following along and I'm thinking about the distance, that helps more. And believe me, it won't take you long to not be thinking about it, but just doing this naturally. So if you're struggling to keep something in the center of the screen or on the sides, wherever you want it, try thinking a little bit differently and think about the actual distance and not keeping it in the middle like a moving target. I hope this helped. If you do like this, please do like, share it and subscribe. I've got more videos on my channel, so please do come back and watch those as well.